continuing, we were looking at Google image search. And I'm looking at large black and white line drawings with a Creative Commons license, but that still doesn't mean that it's free to use, because there's a lot of different types of Creative Commons licenses. We can actually get the license details, and this actually is a Creative Commons open, which is almost the same as public domain. So this is a good one, and it's exactly 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. So I'm going to open it in a new tab, zoom in on it. It should be bigger than my screen. It barely is. Drag it to my desktop. That's good to use. All right. What if I don't want to jump through all the hoops to find good things through Google Images? Well, there's a wonderful site that's linked in the assignment that is my vast preference, and it is called Pixabay. It's also under our links in the course. So if you go to the home page of the course, everything you need for the course is in unit modules, and then these are shortcuts to different aspects, and then a reminder of our course outline. The course outline helps you know what to do with the unit modules. But if you scroll down to links, these are all the external sites we use other than Canvas, like our YouTube page or Pixabay. So Pixabay is a site that is royalty free. These are all Creative Commons open images that people donate to the site. I donate some myself. And if we search just like we would for a Google image search, if I search for Mayan line art, it helps if I spell it right, we'll sometimes get disappointed because it does not nearly have as many images as the whole internet that Google scours. But if I look for just Mayan, that's going to be tags that actual human beings give these images, right? And each of these images isn't allowed onto the site until it's vetted by professionals that guarantee that it's a high enough resolution and a good enough quality to be a useful asset. Now, let's limit it. Instead of, out of these 254 images, I don't want photographs. So I'm going to go to these limitations. I want illustrations only. And then I want color, black and white only. And I don't really need to do size, though I could put in an exact pixel dimension if I wanted, which is nice, because everything that's allowed onto Pixabay is going to be at least printable at 8 by 10. So it means everything is at least 1,000 pixels or larger. So let's see, of these options, I like this one. I'm going to open it in a new tab. I want line art. I don't want what's called full bleed inking. So I don't want big solid black shapes necessarily. And I don't like how it's cropped off. And maybe I'll take this one, this calendar piece. All right, so let's look at what that looks like. I always right-click and open in a new tab so I can have both the search options and the individuals. Now, once you're in the individual in Pixabay, all you have to do is click on download, and you click on the second to last image size. That will be the largest image size you don't have to log in to use. And then you say download. Notice that that's well above 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. Now, it doesn't give you a place to download them, so it goes into your downloads folder, and then I immediately just drag that onto my desktop. Next one. You have the option of donating to the creator, but you do not have to. And then grab it. And all of these are really, really high quality line art images. You don't have to worry about that through Pixabay. Download. Now here, you saw that the others had a vector option. And we're not learning vectors yet, but when we get there, you can also use vectors from Pixabay. This one is not a vector, but it has a really large one, which is the last. So if you try to download the largest one and you're not logged in, Should have logged out ahead of time. There we go. So I'm not logged in now, and I try to download the largest. It's going to ask me to sign up. You are not required to sign up, but if you want to, then you'll be able to download their largest assets. It's free. I use my Gmail for it. I've never gotten any spam from it. It just creates an account, and an account allows you to upload your own, donate your own work, right? So that's up to you. But Pixabay is going to be very, very helpful. But as long as you aren't downloading the largest size, you don't ever need to even sign into the site. Now, do be aware when you're searching on Pixabay, it is a for-profit site. And so when you're not logged in and you search for something, whatever I'm searching, let's see. Oh, interesting. Usually it will give you a band of sponsored content first on one row. That's from a stock site. So you have to scroll past that band of like advertising images. If I look for cat, for instance. Yeah, so there we go. So if I'm not logged in, I have to scroll past these because these are not free royalty images. Instead, I just have to scroll past that first row to get to all the royalty-free ones. Now, if you join, then, and if you upload 10 or more images, these are the ones I've donated, then you don't ever have to see ads again. So that's kind of nice. Because I use Pixabay quite a bit. Okay, so I've downloaded some from Pixabay. I've gotten some from Google Images. If I look on my desktop, that is 5 images, but maybe I want a few more as safety. So what's another way I can try it? Well, in the assignment, I also have it linked to this Google project from about a decade ago that's still active, which is amazing, which is called AutoDraw. So if you just search Google AutoDraw or you just click here, it will open up this program. And basically they call it AI now, which is very dumb because this is not at all based on anything that is used for generative models. All this was Google trying to help people with Pictionary. So you can use this magic AutoDraw pencil and you can draw something. What's Mayan related? Like, let's see, a snake. But I'm not very good at drawing a snake. So I drew this. And so it said, did you mean this? Did you mean this? This? See if I can get to a snake eventually. That's pretty close. It's an earthworm, right? This. Okay, what if I try again? I can just delete it. Let's try AutoDraw. I'll try a snake's head. I'll draw it really badly. Ooh, now it knows, right? So what it did is it just paid illustrators, digital illustrators like myself, to create clip art, and then it paid for a full usage license. So these are all public domain images, Creative Commons open images that anyone can use for any reason. What I recommend you do, if you want to use something from Google AutoDraw, is that you convert it to be black in color. So you select it and then choose black, and then fit it, on the white artboard. So just squeeze it onto the artboard. It's kind of really basic compositing. Not sure why it's not going black. Strange. I'll try that again. So here's my snake. Ooh. And then I can click it, and then I can fit it on the artboard. I can rotate it. I can even squash and squish it for what I want. And I can do multiples. So if I want to draw another one, like maybe the head of a snake. Drawn really badly. It actually helps to draw badly. Because you get more interesting results. Ooh, a skull. That would be fun. Maybe from the side. And again, you can scroll through these. Nice. But remember, you're not allowed to make any of your own pixels. So you can't use your own drawings. You have to use some of these other people's pixels, right? But maybe I want to layer this up, kind of create my own composition. I can do that. As long as I can fit it all on the white artboard. Okay, now, if I wanted to use that, I go to this little hamburger and I say download. And it's made for screen resolution. So it's like 720 by 1200, something like that. But you can also use AutoDraw for some line art. All right, if I want to be really fancy, this should work. I can change it from black to white. And then, let's see. And I can draw something that's white on top of what's black, right? And kind of cut out. But I'm just thinking of the possibilities. Okay, now we've got all our assets. So we used three sources. Google Images. This is something from Google Images. We used Pixabay. This was something from Pixabay. And we used AutoDraw. So some of them are called PNG files. Like the AutoDraw one is a PNG file. The ones from Pixabay are going to be PNG files. What's the difference between a PNG file here and this JPEG file here? Yes, so this looks like it's gray and white, which is weird because when I selected it, it looked like it was black on white, right? That's because a PNG can support transparency. It doesn't have to, but it means that all there is in this file are black lines. There are no white pixels. There are only black pixels. Whereas in a JPEG cannot support transparency. So anything that's empty space is going to be filled in with white pixels. Either one is fine for this project. What we're going to do before we go much further is we're going to open up our folder, open up our exercise 0 folder, and then we're going to create a folder within the exercise 0 folder, which is called assets. The things we use to make the project. Then drag all of those into that folder. The benefit of doing that is within the organizational program of the Mac operating system, which is called the Finder. It has some helpful tools to help you look at your references. So once they're in their own folder, then we can click on these little 3 dots within the folder window and say Show View Options. And then we can make the icons much bigger. And we can group them by name. And we can collapse the grid space so we can see them all in one place. In design, this is called the design board. You put all your inspirations, all your references, all your different source materials up on a corkboard on the wall so you can see it. This is how you can do it digitally. So I'm looking at everything I've chosen. I wonder, do I want anything else? Maybe I want like a Mayan cat or some strange animal. So then I can go back and do like a Google image search that's more specific. So I'll go to Google Images. I'll look up Mayan cat. Lots of cats on the internet. I'm going to use tools to limit it to large, color to limit it to black and white, type to limit it to line drawing. Yes. So I'm asking you to create an asset folder within your exercise 1 folder. Oh, we haven't created an exercise 1 folder. Haha. I did it inside exercise 0, but this is not exercise 0. This is exercise 1. So yeah, so create an exercise 1 folder, and then create an assets folder within exercise 1. If you want to be super organized. And then you can play with view options so you can see everything